Good morning and welcome to Morning Moments. I am absolutely thrilled to have a good friend of mine on he's in Dallas, Texas area. Matter of fact, Bob is a returning guest. Bob was our second guest all time on Morning Moments back on July 10th, 2020. I first got to know Bob through Morning Moments. He was watching Morning Moments. He connected with me and we had a lot of things in common. And since then, we've just been good friends. And Ginger and his wife Ginger and my wife got together once or twice already, and got to know each other. It's just an amazing story. Bob is probably better known as the Hall of Fame from the Hall of Fame Quartet, Gold City Quartet. He was the original tenor with Gold City Quartet, and he's been in the music industry for many years. Bob, welcome back to Morning Moments.
Thanks, Andy. I appreciate it very much. How have you been?
I've been great. I have been great. I was just sharing with you about my new venture of retiring, and so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what God has for me, and you've still got a little while to go before you retire, right?
Oh, well, probably around next December.
Next December. Good.
Next December, yeah. That'll put me in at 66 and a quarter.
Yeah.
Or 66 and a half or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at that, and I was thinking about holding off till 66 and a quarter, and I just decided I'm going to, I just going to quit. So I decided to retire. So you're holding out right to the 66 and a half thing, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna hold out. Ginger.
Yeah. Make you work as long as you can, right?
That's right.
well, Bob, we got connected through Facebook, and also our love for collecting autographs. We've been back and forth collecting autographs, and but your early career, you've been law enforcement and security for years, but you're early on, you did a lot of music. Is that correct?
Yes, first started out in a group called the Liberty Four. We were young boys then. I was probably 15 years old, 16. Another well-known tenor singer, Mike Franklin, was also singing in that group with me. That was his first group. I think he was 14 or 15. And so we've kept in touch, and then we moved on to a group called the Concords a little bit. I was their sound engineer for the longest time, and then I started singing with them. They said, "We didn't know you could sing." I said, "Well, I don't know that I'm doing that great a job, but I'll muster up as much as I can." And then finally, I went with a group called the Tony Brothers that had been around for years and years and years. Terry and Gary Tony. Terry Tony had called me, and I moved to Richardson, Texas, which is basically Dallas. And I had a little talk with God. I said, "God, I want to do this full time, and this is a gospel truth. With my hand up," as Wendy Bagwell used to say. I was actually praying. I was outside, and I young kid, I banged on the side of my car and said, "God, I want to do this. I want to do this, and I want to do it now." And as I said, with my hand up, the phone rang, and it was Terry Tony from Dallas, Texas, and the Tony Brothers. And when God answers prayer, which he always does one way or the other, but when you want something, whether you need it or not, and he's either gonna guide you through it or let you learn a lesson, which I learned quite a good lesson during that time, because it was just constantly on the go when I went to Texas. We were never in Texas anymore. So,
It's amazing when you talk about the Tony brothers. When my father died this spring, and we were going through their belongings, we were going through tapes and all. They had a videotape of the Tony brothers
oh my,
in my dad's belongings. I couldn't believe it, because you mentioned that you were with the Tony brothers,
oh my
and
goodness.
I'm
We'll have to talk about that.
talk about a circle, full circle, and
Yeah.
having my mom and dad having a video in their belongings. They're both gone now, but seeing that, and I hope I grabbed it. I don't. I'll have to double check the stuff, but it was really cool to see that. It was
Oh
kind of
my
a
goodness.
God connection when we were going through that time too.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that'd be great to see. I'd love to see that.
And
Uh,
you also went to Gold City. You were the
yes,
original group
I
at Gold
think
City.
I think basically what God was doing with the Tony brothers was preparing me for uh, Gold City. Gold City wasn't even formed then, and I got the call from Tupelo, Mississippi, where the Christianaires were, and they asked me, did I want to come try out for the group? And I said, sure, I'll come try out. So I did. Um, we sang as the Christianaires for about a year, maybe a year and a half, and that's when we met Floyd Beck, and through the then bass singer Dallas Gilland. He knew Floyd and got us in touch with him. He liked the way we sounded, and the rest is Gold City history. From the stroke of midnight, going from 1979 into 1980, uh, it was a wild ride, as they say. It was
Yeah,
something.
you shared some pictures with me with you in that gold jacket. You had a gold
Oh yeah,
jacket, and
yeah.
also the bus. You had pictures of you on that big bus, and
Wow.
you traveled on that bus too. So
Yeah, it was one of the greatest things that I've had the privilege to do. We saw a lot of people come to the Lord, and they are still going on with Tim Riley's son Danny as their captain, so to speak,
mhm.
and they're still doing what God has had them to do. Believe me, they don't make a lot of money. I can tell you that right now. They don't do it for the money.
Yeah.
They do it because they're directed by God.
Yeah, I had the privilege to interview Jay Perrick and Brian Elliott, the piano player for them now. Well,
Oh, they're good friends.
he's not Brian's not he's with uh,
Lefebvre.
Lefebvre's now, but he played piano for Gold City for quite a while too.
And
And
Jay's with the Lefebvre's too.
yeah,
So,
that's right. Yeah,
yeah.
Jay went to Gold City to Lefebvre's as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, it's wonderful. Those guys are great godly men, and I really appreciate all they do and what we've been able to accomplish through that group.
There's something to be said for being in the trenches together with people, and
Yes.
traveling and going from place to place. And I have heard so many quartet people, and not just quartet, but music folks, talk about the bond that takes place with you guys that lasts for years, isn't it?
It does, and I speak to Tim Riley probably every 2 weeks. We talk for 20-30 minutes, and we always have a few laughs and remembrances and things like that. And we rarely talk about the group. Actually, we talk about going fishing and things like that, And but he's one of my best friends, and I just love him to death.
Yeah. Well, Bob has also moved to a different career. He's been in law enforcement and security, and homeland security as well, and private security. and God has just really blessed him too in a second career in where he's felt God's led him in
Right.
keeping us safe too. And thank you for your service for that.
Well, I appreciate that, Andy. It's a job that somebody's got to do, and it's a thankless job, but I appreciate you you telling me that, and hopefully it won't be too much longer to where I won't have to do that anymore, and I can point my direction towards maybe the music business again, which I would like to do, be involved in. I would like to, be involved in some production and things like that, not necessarily singing, but helping some of these younger people come along and tell them some of the things they need to know, especially that it's not all a bed of roses out there.
Yeah.
But it's God's work, and that's what they want to do and led to do by him. Then that's what they should do.
I interviewed a young group, some young guys, I mean, just really young. And I called Bob up and I said, "Hey, Bob, I got some guys I want you to talk to because they're just new and I want you to," and Bob contacted them, encouraged them. And I think he wants to do a little bit more of that too, just encouraging the
Sure.
up and coming singers. And maybe God's got something for us together to do. We've been
Well,
praying about that
that's
too.
what I'm hoping, because I believe, I don't think that God brought us together just to say hi and things like that, and have a lunch in Nashville or two, or dinner, and which was wonderful. I enjoyed that so much, especially since you paid for it.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But
and I think God's got us more together than just make our wives roll their eyes at us like, "Oh, geez, see our wives together."
Yeah, there you go. Well, when we've got this medium, we can pretty much do what God tells us to do.
That's right. Well, Bob, it's been great connecting with you again on Morning Moments, and we're going to have you back from time to time. And
Love to do it.
And we'll just keep track of you. And maybe we're going to get some more stories from not only music, but maybe law enforcement and other things. You've got such a rich history as well with a lot of things you've done. And I want to thank you for coming back and with me in Morning Moments. And it's always just a delight to talk with you.
I'm glad to be back, and looking forward to doing this again.
Good. Thank you. And God also gives us lifetime friends too. And I really feel that Bob's a lifetime friend. He hasn't been a friend all my life, but it's a lifetime friend from now on, because
Guaranteed.
friends do. When I was struggling with the death of my father, he's the man I called and had pray for me, and he took the time to pray for me and checked on me, and that's what friends are for, let me tell you. And you'll never know what you mean to me, and I sure do appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate that, Andy. Thank you.
All right. And I do appreciate you for joining us for Morning Moments, for just coming in and just allowing us two friends just to talk for a while and let you just join in on that. And I'm sure there'll be a little bit more of this in the future. Keep coming back for some more Morning Moments, and keep praying for Bob, that God would continue to bless him and be with him in his life as God directs him. Thank you so much, Bob.
And the same for you, Andy. I'll tell you, man, pray for you all the time.
Good. Appreciate it, brother. All right.
Well, have a good night.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.